What's up, people? This is your boy Dio as the boy Dusty. Welcome to my channel, Talk with Dusty. And today I'll be interviewing Kobe Martin, one of the biggest inspirations in my life. Illustrator, painter, he does everything, man. Trust me, this guy's he's amazing.
Shoot the lights out. It's right out. Oh, just another lonely night. Are you willing to sacrifice your life?
What's going on, people? My name is Kobe Martin. I'm an illustrator, animator, and painter. Today I want to talk to you guys about, chasing your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions, or whatever inspires you. I started off drawing, just basically because that was my interest, and I was just doing that as a hobby, but it's not something that I ever thought I'd take as a profession. So growing up in Ghana, my mom and my dad were very supportive of what I was doing, and that's not something that you would have your parents, from African parents. When you tell them you want to do art, it's just out of the question. You know what I mean? They wanted you to do something socially acceptable, which is being a lawyer, a doctor, or a banker. Saying that you want to play football, be an artist is not really the norm. Even if you want to do something like that, you have to prove to them that it's going to work. So for me, being from that background, my mom and my dad were really, really supportive. So I did my secondary school in Ghana and my primary school in Ghana. And, when it got to the time for me to get into uni, I was told that I wasn't good academically. Well, the truth of the matter is, I failed my academic grades, but my design grades were really, really strong. But I think the uni failed to realize that I was good creatively and I wasn't academically smart. And to this day, I wouldn't even lie to you, I'm not so good with numbers. And with the subjects that I failed, they were the maths, the science, the biologies and whatnot. But I wasn't really good academically. But within myself, I knew that I was very talented, I was very creative, and because of that, I had to stay home for 2 years. So during that time, I was told to take, remedials, which is like retake exams. So every time I retook the exams, I failed, and that, was kind of tough, because after those 2 years, the next year, my mates that I finished secondary school with were about to go into uni, and I had to stay at home for another year, and that was 3 years. So my parents then decided that, we're just going to send you to the UK. And, me coming to the UK alone, without anybody, was kind of tough, because, to be honest with you, that was pretty much my first time traveling, and I'd never been to the UK before. And in the back of my mind, I was only coming for uni. So after my first year, after my degree, fast forward to that, after my degree, I did arts and design in uni, and I just thought, I was just doing it for the sake of doing it. But I never thought of doing art as a profession. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, I'm doing this course, and then I'm going to go back to Ghana. Do you know what I mean? But even in the back of my mind, I was thinking, if I'm going back to Ghana, what am I going to do? Do you know what I mean? Because I hadn't really come to understanding within myself that, okay, this is what you want to do as a profession. Do you know what I mean? So after my degree, I was meant to go back to Ghana, and then my dad was like, yo, why don't you do your master's? And I was like, okay. That was a bit long for me, but I was like, yo, if my dad's paying for it, then he sees something that maybe I don't see. You know what I mean? So I did my master's in 3D animation. So during that time when I was about to finish it, I started, putting my work out on social media. And at that time, Instagram was popping up. Like it was really popping to put your stuff on Instagram, but it was just really hard for me to get that sort of attention. So every time I put up my work on Instagram, which is like digital paintings or traditional paintings, I made sure that I tagged, Wretch32, Chipmunk, Bashi, the famous people, just so they could have a look at my work. But it wasn't always successful, you know what I mean? But that didn't stop me anyway. I just kept on pushing and painting, and at that time I was still in uni, so I was still, doing my uni work and doing my portfolio work outside of uni as well. So I kept on pushing, and luckily for me, one day Wretch came and commented on the comment section, and he was like, "Yo, this is amazing." And obviously it's Wretch, innit? So I was gassed, and it didn't hit me that that sample was gonna come out of this. So I just kept on pushing again, and then he kept on coming to check my work and commenting, and then before I knew, he started following me. On that day, he followed me on Instagram, he followed me on Twitter. I'm like, yo, do you know what I mean? So I thought this was going somewhere. And then, a couple hours later, I got an email from Vis. Vis is also known as Dwayne Jones. You should check him out, Google him out when you get the time. He's a co-founder of a group called Renowned Group. They deal with multimedia videos and, like, anything to do with film and videography and whatnot. But yeah, I got an email from him saying he had just sat down with Wretch and his manager, and they really liked my work, and they would like to have a sit down with me and whatnot. So obviously from getting that email, I was ecstatic. I was like, rah, like these men are actually serious. They actually want to work with me. You know what I mean? So I was about to finish uni. It was closing to the time I was about to graduate from my masters, and then Vis hit me up again saying, "You know what? Adidas is having this exhibition. Do you want to take part?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" I mean, you wouldn't let down at such an opportunity if Adidas is having an exhibition. Do you know what I mean? So I took the opportunity, and he sent me the brief from Adidas, and it was basically Adidas launching one of their sneakers called the Equipment, and they wanted a painting that incorporated or that embodied that feel of the shoe. So I got down to work, and I came up with a design. I sent it over to Vis, and Vis sent it over to Adidas. So 2 days later, Adidas invited me to their headquarters. Went down to the show. When I got there, my work was over there. It's crazy, man. It was a crazy feeling. There were a lot of superstars. Superstars, rappers. People from Adidas. It was an amazing feeling because it's not something that you ever imagine. Do you know what I mean? You're in a room full of rappers and musicians and people you see on TV. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna be starstruck. And then I remember going upstairs, and Wretch and Bashi and Chipmunk were all of them were over there, and I was with my boy Kojo Marfo, and he was like, "Yo, that's Wretch." I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, go talk to him." I was like, "Nah," because I didn't want to look like I was begging it. Do you know what I mean? But he was like, "No, go talk to him." So I built up the courage, and then as I walked towards Wretch, some next man came out of nowhere, and started talking to Wretch. I'm like, this is not what I asked for. And then I started backing up, and then my boy came and was like, "Nah, fam, go talk to him." So I walked up to Wretch, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and he shook my hand in there, and he was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." I'm like, "Do you remember me?" He was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Oh, my name is Kobe Martin." He was like, "Yo, Coach, is your work over here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's downstairs." He was like, yo, come show me where it is. I went downstairs, he came with me. Such a humble guy, man. Wretch is you know, so humble and reserved, and you know, it was such an amazing experience to get to meet him, you know, because I've always seen him on TV and whatnot. So, you know, I showed him my work, took a couple of pictures with him. Obviously, I was gassed in that, but it was a good feeling, trust me, one I'll remember forever. And, you know, he gave me some advice to just keep my head down and just keep working. And then fast forward to that, back to uni, I was about to graduate. And then I remember Tiny tweeted on Twitter that he was looking, well, his record label, Disturbing London, they were looking for illustrators and artists. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I know, like, designers will approach this tweet with their body of work. But then again, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to do something that represents the company. So I took the Disturbing London logo and I flipped it and I made my own design. So when I sent it to them, my work stood out more, and you know, I sent it to them as a print in a frame. Do you know what I mean? So the next morning, I woke up, Tiny and his manager and G Fresh and WizKid and everyone on the label, just everyone on the label had put it on their Instagram. So like my phone was just blowing up and people just hit me up saying, yo, like your work's all over Instagram and Tiny put up your work and whatnot. And then I wanted something more out of that. Do you know what I mean? So I sent Tiny's manager an email and I told him, you know what, like, can we have a sit down or a meeting? And then I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And then, you know, he gave me the opportunity to come down and have a sit down with him. And then, you know, I showed him my portfolio and he really liked it. And, you know, the rest is history. You know, right now I can say I'm the in-house designer for Disturbing London. And it's crazy, man. But either way, before that, no, after that, yeah, that was after. After that, I was like I said, always working, always hustling, just pushing the boundaries of art. And then I sent Krept. I had Krept's email and I sent my portfolio to him. And he was like, yo, were you the one that did the Disturbing London logo? I was like, yeah. And then he was like, yo, do you want to send... he was like, nah, he was like, well, you know who did the Disturbing London logo? I was like, yeah. And he was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna send your portfolio to the label. And at that time, Krept & Konan, I just got signed by Virgin. So, you know, they had people managing them. So he sent my portfolio to Virgin, and Virgin came back to me saying, you know, you got one day to pitch for the album cover. So let's see what you can do. And then I was like, wow, one day. And they were like, yeah, is this something you could do? And I was like, yeah, sure. And mind you, we're talking via email, innit? So even way before that, there are other designers that had pitched for the spot. So I was competing against 9 designers. So, you know, me having one day, I just shot everything out. You know what I mean? I shot everyone out. I locked myself in the room, stayed focused, came up with 2 designs the next day. And then I sent it to them. So they came back to me saying, we'll get back to you in the next 2 or 3 days. I was like, okay. I didn't expect anything out of it. So, you know, I was out there doing my thing, and they came back to me. Virgin came back to me saying, congratulations, you got the spot. I was like, nah, you're joking. They're like, yeah, congratulations, welcome on board. You're going to be designing Krept & Konan's debut album, The Long Way Home. I was like, nah. Do you know what I mean? And then everything just started rolling out, and, you know, by God's grace, we're here, and just keep working, innit? But all I'm just going to say is just believe in yourself. That's the first thing I'll say. Believing in yourself gives you that stepping stone to achieve anything. Do you know what I mean? You can believe in yourself, but you can believe in... if you don't have that self-belief, and if you don't have that self-belief and people chat negative things to you, how are you going to, you know, convince others that, you know, how are you going to convince others in the product you are putting out if you don't believe in yourself? Do you know what I mean? And what I'll say is that there is sometimes you need to fail to succeed. Do you know what I mean? And it's not bad. Do you know what I mean? When you fail at something, it means that there is more room to improve. But not picking up from there and then making that decision to stay, you know what, this is it, I can't do it anymore. That's complete failure. Do you know what I mean? So you not being able to be successful at something doesn't make you a failure. The fact that you completely quit and decide not to pick up from where you left off, that makes you a failure. Do you know what I mean? So for me, art is something that I've always been doing, and it's something that I always continue to do because that's the only thing I really know how to do. So what I'll say is, you know, take time and analyze something that you're really good at, tap into it, and make the best out of it. Do you know what I mean? Make your connections and always work hard at it. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, the best will come out of it. So, you know, my relationship with Adidas after the exhibition, you know, just it just happened generically. And, you know, from the exhibition, I got invited to more shows. I got invited to, you know, to do more paintings and to do more exhibitions with them. And, you know, obviously, if you're working with Adidas, come on, man, you're going to be sorted. Do you know what I mean? Look at Stormzy, getting shoes, getting clothes, getting sorted for life, really. But, you know, like I said, I never ever thought about this. All I just wanted to do was to chase my goals, just to push the art. Do you know what I mean? Stay focused on what you want to do, and everything will fall into place. Yeah? Thank you for your time. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Kobe_Martin. My Twitter, yeah, right there. See it right there? Yeah, right there. If you want to follow me on Snapchat, that's up to you. That's your own. Hello. Guys, Kobe_Banks for Snapchat. And my website is Kobmart. Right there. Yeah, right there. KOBMART. Kobmart.co.uk. Make sure you just check out my work, check out my stuff, recommend me to your friends. You know, yeah.